Another reselling video, or thrifting I think is the official term. I went into a thrift shop with an eye for a few little bits and pieces, whether that be for myself or to resell. And the good thing about thrifting, going in the thrift shops, is you're obviously helping other people straight away by buying it, and you'd like to think that's going towards good causes. So yes, by thrifting, if you're doing it solely for yourself, yes, you are making money off charitable items, but at the same time you're also putting the money into the pockets of the charity, so that money's going around in a decent circle as opposed to a big consumer. So try and support your local op shops one way or another. And for me at the moment, because I've obviously only made a little bit of money from it, I will more than happily go back in there and pick up, who knows, another half dozen items with that money. I'm not trying to make fortunes from it. Just something that caught my eye that I thought, that's worth picking up. I'm sure I could try and make a bit of money on it, and then find something for myself and find something to resell again. So it kind of goes around in that circle. And the item I picked up, very random, a bit of David Dickinson here, is a Weet-Bix tin. So very random, but I thought it was eye-catching. That'd look good in any old-fashioned styled, I don't even know the words, that shows how much style I've got, kitchen. One thing, when I come out here on the farms with my good friend James, so shout out to him, and Ian, who was in charge of us, he was always banging on about Weet-Bix. In Australia they don't use the A, and they call it Weet-Bix instead of Weetabix. So we're always having this debate, and he would bang on about how he has his Weet-Bix in the morning, how we need to have a few more so we can be Aussie tough like him. And he was Aussie tough, he was a tough bloke. So yeah, maybe he's got something in that. But just going on that Weet-Bix topic, it is very different out here because the Weet-Bix brand do so much for sports and the Olympics and kids. You'll always see kids with Weet-Bix branded and endorsed items. It's obviously not the worst cereal to be putting in your kids before a day of school. You don't want to send them ramped up full of E numbers and whatever crap's in all these other cereals full of sugar. So yeah, I do love eating Weet-Bix, and I think that the brand is really good. So I was really pleased when I picked up this item, because as I was saying, they do so much for sports. They're always giving away little bits for kids, and trying to get behind different schemes, whether it be swimming, triathlon, or whatever else they've got going on, backpacks, sporting equipment. Really good, worth checking out. And if you are Weet-Bix UK, you need to step up your game, because you're not seeing enough of those kind of things. And during the pandemic, I'm thinking he's MBE as of today, and he'll probably go on to a lot more. Marcus Rashford would certainly have something to say about that. So shout out to a man like Marcus. United. Here is the item once again, picked up for, I think I paid $5 for it. There's an array of tins in there. This one caught my eye. I was going to keep it for myself. I put it online in the meantime and managed to turn a nice little profit. This is a little remake, not one of the original ones. Some years old. I put the details online. So it was made in 1997 as a reprint of the 1931 Weet-Bix carton, and it's got a whole load of spiel on there. When it was first made, October 1928, part of Australian life and history. They do love the Weet-Bix here, that's for sure. When it used to sell for 6p, 5 cents. In 1930, Far Lap won the Melbourne Cup carrying 9 stone 10 pounds, 61.8 kg, and Weet-Bix was a runaway success too at that same time. I'm wondering if Far Lap was eating Weet-Bix for his breakfast. Probably only the one, to be honest. If you're a jockey weighing 61 kilos. And in here, 1932 to 33 series against England, cricket's most celebrated Aussie kid, Donald Bradman, what am I reading here, hit the fastest 50 test in history, and Weetabix became Australia's fastest selling breakfast cereal. I perhaps should have read this before I gave the Aussie cricket fans the points on this, with the Ashes coming up and everything else. So I know that they'll be loving this, particularly people like Joel. Big Tigers fan, Joel, #1 Tigers fan. By the end of World War II, Weetabix had helped win the battles of feeding millions of Australians during the lean war years. And when Australia's great Olympians, Betty Cuthbert, Dawn Fraser, Murray Rose and the Conrads were winning gold for Australia from 1952 to 1956, Weetabix had become a gold standard for a healthy, nutritious breakfast. Then in 1983, Australia became the world's #1 yachting nation. When Australia too won the America's Cup, Weetabix was Australia's #1 breakfast cereal. We don't know what great firsts and victories future generations of Australians will achieve, but you can be sure Weetabix will still be the #1 breakfast of Australian kids. And I think, like I say, that's a reproduction from 1997. Going from the little that I know and the little that I've seen, Weetabix has a massive impact over here. Stands out as a brand, stands out as a breakfast cereal, and like sporting community, healthy community, which is more and more important, especially for kids. So here we are, nearly 30 years later, they're still doing it. $5, sold for 40. What's it worth to you? Let me know.